Sleep. That wonderful activity that we all crave. The rest, the drift into that fantasy world called dreams. Oh sleep, oh gentle sleep, nature's soft nurse, Shakespeare said with typical poetic flair. Edward Young called it tired nature's sweet restorer. Sleep is relaxation. Sleep is restoration. Sleep is comforting. Science shows that sleep, good adequate sleep that is not just nice, it is essential for well-being. And yet, we seem to be getting less sleep these days. Lack of sleep has become an epidemic. Increase in stress, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease have all been linked to lack of quality sleep. So why do we get less of something that's not just enjoyable but absolutely necessary? There isn't a single answer to that. Our environment, with all the lights and noises that we have to deal with but our ancestors never had to, our lifestyle, from our food habits to the frantic pace of our lives, they all play a role. Why, after all, do we need sleep, an activity that stops us from doing more useful things in the 24 hours that we have, like things like working, eating, socializing? And what's worse, an activity that makes us vulnerable to predators and the likes by relaxing us and shutting off all our danger sensors. Sometimes, for some people, sleeping less is actually a lifestyle choice, a measure of our importance or drive. People who sleep 8 hours or more these days can be considered, very unfairly if I may add, lazy or unambitious. To all these, the author adds another complication. We don't quite know why we sleep. Yeah, you heard that right. We have answers to how and why sleep is beneficial. We understand the mechanics of sleep, but he feels that our apathy to sleep may also be because of the historical failure of science to adequately explain why we need it. Some things are beginning to change. Science is able to make connections between health, well-being and sleep. This information will be useful to fix some of the problems caused by lack of quality sleep. Science helps us understand the mechanics of sleep. We know we all have natural rhythms called circadian rhythms. Our circadian rhythms are not exactly in 24-hour cycles, and we are all not perfectly synchronized. And yet, our lifestyles today are what you might call a tyranny of the clock. Our work hours, our transport systems, our schools, they're all set to standard schedules. We have known about the cycles of brain functions during sleep for some time now, the famous REM or rapid eye movement and non-REM cycles. Advanced imaging techniques like MRI now show how sleep affects alertness and memory. We also have an understanding of the role of natural substances in our bodies, of hormones like melatonin and compounds like adenosine. We've known for a while the role melatonin plays in sleep regulation. Think of it as a chemical that interprets ambient light, mainly sunlight but others too, to instruct our bodies to get ready for sleep. You can clearly see now how our being surrounded by artificial lighting can trick the body into thinking that the sun is still around. Anyone who has flown long distance knows this too, the jet lag. This is where the body's rhythm is out of sync with the day-night cycle, causing sleep during daylight hours and, very annoyingly, no sleep at all at night. Frequent travelers often have a hack for this, by taking melatonin tablets as short-term fixes to get their sleep cycles back on track. New research now shows that melatonin does a lot more than just regulate sleep. It is also an antioxidant that helps clear junk out of our bodies, and it helps with our immune system. This is very important to help combat heart disease and cancer. Now the importance of sleep has become even more clearer. It is not just for resting our tired minds and bodies, it actually improves our brain functions and our health systems. This is not just a shutdown that's going on, but some pretty important maintenance work too. And then there are the dreams. What are dreams? Are they replays of our days and emotions? Are they random thoughts? They seem to be all that, and yet we are not certain what they exactly do. There are clearly connections to our emotional states and to creativity, but we are just on the edge of understanding the role of dreams. Meaning, we don't really know, for now. So, if we understand the importance of sleep, and what the main hurdles to good sleep are, what can we do to fix the issues? After all, if lack of good sleep is acknowledged to affect our physical and mental health and social interactions, what then needs to be done to solve this sleeplessness epidemic? That's more complex. Science is covering problems related to lack of sleep and its causes, but many solutions still need society-level changes. At least we are at the first necessary step of solving the problem, accepting that there is a problem. More information will be needed to make changes in workplaces and schools, in our governing systems, to adapt from a one clock for everyone to a more flexible approach. There are, however, several things we can do as individuals. The author recommends a few, such as: first, develop a sleep schedule and stick to it, even over weekends. It's a myth that we can make up for sleep deficit by sleeping more over weekends. Second, avoid caffeine and nicotine. Caffeine is found in coffee, tea, and chocolates. While caffeine might be stimulating, the reality is it takes several hours for the effects to wear off. Therefore, it's better to avoid them in the evenings. Smoking is known to affect sleep patterns due to nicotine withdrawal, and that's not even considering the known health issues related to tobacco consumption. Third, alcohol, contrary to belief, doesn't actually help one sleep better. It is recommended to reduce alcohol intake, especially close to bedtime. Similarly, large meals close to bedtime are also not good for sleep. Exercise is considered very good, but not recommended late in the evenings, as this really affects the sleep cycle. Spend more time in the sun. Natural sunlight is the best regulator. The author recommends that we spend at least 30 minutes outdoors in the sun, and also, as far as possible, to wake up and wind down with the sun as much as possible. Put those gadgets away. TVs, smartphones, laptops, tablets all emit blue light that interferes with our melatonin release. We have options for night mode on many of our gadgets today to reduce the blue light, and we also have spectacles for those who use them that filter out blue light. But that's only half the fix. The next email that we have to respond to, or that momentary rush of social media like, they all cause anxiety that interfere with sleep. And finally, we just have to learn to relax 30 minutes before sleep. Put away those gadgets, rest those worries, dim down the lights, relax the mind, and drift off. So let me conclude with a quote from that Shakespeare guy again. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a little sleep.